Atriox is always a part of the frame. Showing his troops inspired by his rallying, but he's always a part of the frame. See, still over here. We're continuing our Halo series with Atriox's origin story, Halo Wars 2. This video was chosen by Akaria, our Dragoon tier member. If you want to choose a video, become a member.
Alice is MIA. She'll stay silent down there until she has a good shot at getting back to us.
Ooh, I like that shot.
Sir?
Now, was that the main character or just one of the soldiers?
Isabel.
Amazing.
This is Captain Cutter.
Visual
I
style.
know who you are. James Cutter,
Cutter.
Captain of the Spirit of Fire.
Fantastic.
Supposed to be lost with all hands.
Images.
Not so lost, it seems.
I like the lighting.
What happened down there?
Cold.
I need to know what we're up against. Isabel? Isabel, report.
Oh,
Sir, 5 months ago, the portal from the Ark to Earth shut down without warning.
is she a
A
machine?
month later, he arrived.
He?
Who's he? Yeah. This is getting
The
good already.
Brute. Their leader. His name is Atriox.
It's just very well done. There's a lot of good questions being raised visually and
During the
narratively.
war, the Covenant
I have
used
no
his
idea what's going
plan
on,
as
and I'm already super engaged.
expendable muscle. Told them dying in battle would speed their holy journey. 40 at a time, they carelessly sent them in.
Oh, that's such a great sort of
40
character reveal.
to break the front lines.
I love that.
40 to die for beliefs not their own.
Nice build up here.
None never returned
Nice tension.
until he did.
It feels like story time. I
So
love it.
battle by battle, war by war.
Also, the use of color is fantastic.
39 brothers at a time.
Cold colors the entire time until her,
Atriox
Orange.
was born.
Atriox.
With every victory, his legend and his hatred of the Covenant grew.
What a beast.
Eventually, both were impossible to conceal. And they tried to banish him.
They tried to banish him.
And everything we know about the Covenant's 1,000-year history.
Yes.
Atriox was the first to defy the Covenant and survive.
What a beast. He's just that strong?
And his defiance inspired others.
Cool. Yeah, take their weapons, man. Oh! This is inspiring, man. I'm getting fired up just watching it. I don't even know the lore of this world or the characters. Oh, this is a continuous one-shot here. It's almost like you can see the inspiration that he caused just firing through all of his comrades as he destroys them one by one. That was a great shot. Yeah, comes back to him. Really nice circling shot. Yeah, we're gonna look at that one.
Atriox and his banished raided Covenant resources, cutting a swath across the galaxy, growing in strength with each attack.
See, it's all still the
Gathering
cold
healers
colors.
and mercenaries to his side. The Covenant had two targets in those years: humanity
So,
and Atriox.
is he on the side of like
They almost got us.
the humans or no?
Atriox. They never came close. The whole
His
damn
vehicle.
Covenant couldn't contain him at the height of their power.
What? He's got armor now, baby.
That's what you're up against. And all you've got is one old
He's an
ship
enemy.
and half a crew to staff her? We need to run as far and as fast as we can.
Oh, we ain't running. We're up for the challenge. I
We
love
are
that it's just a
one
monologue.
ship. And an old one at that.
The music's building up.
But here we are. 30 years past what anyone could ask of us. Our war is gone.
Stand up, soldiers.
Lives we had are gone. The worlds we knew, but moved on.
So what do? We fight.
Now, all that we may have left are those standing beside us. And the duty that defines us. Battle after battle, fighting side by side.
I love it.
Together. Where you see half a crew, Isabel, I see family, courage, and 1,000 heroes who swore to fight their way through hell before they'd ever turn their backs and run.
Nice
And
performance.
where you see one old ship, I see home. And that is always worth fighting for.
Let's go. Let's go. Really nice shot. Everybody's inspired, just like Atriox's troops, interestingly. Nice contrast here.
If we don't stop Atriox now, we leave the galaxy at the mercy of a monster.
What was interesting is he inspired his troops with violence, and the humans inspired his troops with humanity.
No, Isabel. We won't be running anywhere today.
It's speech.
Sir, yes, sir.
She's like, point taken. I will shut up now. That was awesome. Really, really good. There's so much to talk about, so let's hop right into the shots. I really like this sort of, it's almost better for me not knowing what's going on here and then hopping in, being dropped into this scene. Is this an opening cutscene? Okay, Atriox origin story. I don't know if it's the opening of the whole game, but it's really well done. I love how we kind of dropped into story time here, and she looks dejected. There's an energy that starts very mysterious, very sort of defeated in this video. Report, and she's just down like that. You can see the body language mimicking that. Body language of the defeated. We can't beat him. We've lost. And he's like, report, report, report. She eventually turns around, starts to speak. He hears the whole story. Pretty much saying there's no chance. He's too strong. He rose up. He destroyed everybody. No chance. And by the end of it, there's this inspiring feeling. And it's interesting because it starts with Atriox as this sort of feeling of like, he's too strong. We can't beat him. But you feel fired up watching him fight. But then it's more of like a hype, more of a violent nature. He literally just shows how strong he is physically to inspire his troops. We have the commander here at the end who says, no, we're going to fight for home because the world has forgotten us, but we're still doing our duty. We're still out here making it happen because that's what we do. That's what's right. So I absolutely love it. Let's look at a couple shots, including that crazy action scene with Atriox. That she feels small. She feels kind of weak. Which almost would imply that humans are weak, and she's like, yep, we're not going to beat him, so let's just go home. We're going to run really far, in fact, and go home. Even saying his name, her gaze wavers and stuff, right? So you can see this is a seriously dangerous entity. And look again, her eyes are kind of lowered. She looks unsure. She looks frightened. But I want to look at this particular sequence.
To defy the Covenant.
But what's cool here is he was kneeling down, and then he realizes, or he shows, his stature is very powerful. He raises up into the frame, and there's that contrast for the first time. In the cold blues, we start to get these reds, the reds of rage, as he rises up here. And he, wow.
And
Yeah.
Defiance inspired others.
But it's cool because the red here really shows, you know, quite blatantly, like going against the grain, so to speak, just cutting through the image with that striking red. I very much like this next shot.
Others.
I love that. Only for a few frames, but look at that. Also, I love the character design on Atriox. He has this kind of like emptiness to his face. Like you almost can't really see any expression. It's just this like, he almost looks like a skull. Very, very intense. It's like, oh, so I love this shot. We start on Atriox. Again, that red inspiring everybody. We're going to circle around in a one shot. But what's interesting is I want you to notice what the composition here. It's kind of continuously and over the shoulder of Atriox. You can see his shoulder here in the foreground, out of focus, rack focus to the troops. But it's always kind of surrounding him, inspiring all those around him. So he's a part of the frame. Beautiful shot. And then we have this crazy wonder. But again, I want you to look. Go back about 5-10 seconds. So
Inspired others.
Atriox is always a part of the frame. Look at this. It's showing his troops inspired by his rallying, but he's always a part of the frame. See? He's still over here. Creative use of it. He's finally left the frame for a second, and there's just troops flying all over the place. Completely destroyed. And there he is again in the background. And now we're going to have this cool shot where he slams down. I love it. And again, look at his expression. It's just like this really unnerving. I absolutely love it. Yeah, this is a beautiful scene of Karya. Wow. And there it is. Yeah, really nicely designed shot. I like how it was continuous. And there he is, all outfitted and freed.
Has banished raided Covenant resources, cutting a swath across the galaxy, growing in strength to his side.
Really, really cool shot. You start to see here, scale. You start to see how far his influence went from rallying, you know, whatever, a few troops around him to thousands, mercenaries, everybody.
Covenant had 2 targets in those years. Humanity and Atriox.
And again, it's interesting because in a weird way, you start to root for Atriox. Did you guys notice it? Do you feel that? That's what I feel.
They almost got us.
Because he's the underdog here, and then you start to realize, wait, he's our enemy. Again, me not knowing Halo, you probably already knew that. He's our enemy.
They never came close.
That's what's interesting here.
The whole
I love this shot. Now we're just gonna pan up again
Covenant couldn't contain him at the height of their power.
to a whole other element. It's just like layers upon layers of images stacked in this frame. It's absolutely insane the amount of work that was taken.
That's what you're up against. And all you've got is one
And she's finally showing her emotion. It's a feeling of like, you can't win. I don't even want to tell you because I know you're gonna try and fail.
old ship and half a crew to staff her.
I really like the reactions of the crew here. One old ship, you see the crewmate look over. It's like, what's on his face? What expression? Is it concern? Is it, dang, she's right? Then you have this character over here in the armor. Not sure what his name is. Folds his arms. And he's like, yeah, you wish. Yeah, and that's a good point, Campfire. There's a lot of emotion in her eyes for the first time.
Run as far and as fast as we can.
And he just looks around. He's like, I'm not sure who you think you're talking to, but yeah, it's really good. A lot of emotion. Yeah, there's Aaliyah. Aaliyah, hello.
We are just one.
She's right behind me in real life.
And
She's
an
behind me,
older
isn't
one
she?
at that.
But I love
But
this.
Here we are.
Yeah, I knew right away when this kind of music started to, it's a little bit more upbeat. I knew exactly where it was going.
30 years past what anyone could ask.
Hail Queen Aaliyah.
Our war is gone. The lives we had are gone.
I love how they all rise because it's just like they know what's coming. They know their commander. Aaliyah hug.
Worlds we knew have moved on. And
There's
now,
that hug.
All that we may have left are those standing beside us.
Love it.
And the duty that defines us. Battle after battle, fighting side by side. Together. Where you see half a crew, Isabel, I see family,
Yeah.
courage,
Family.
and 1,000 heroes who swore to fight their way through hell before they'd ever turn their backs and run. And
I love
when
that.
you see one old ship, I see home. And that is always worth fighting for.
That was really beautiful done. Everybody's like, all right, now we're getting back to our stations. Let's go at it. So what I like about this is too, the performance is really great on all ends. But I really like this close up here. Where'd it go? This one. Yeah. I really like that he's quite metered throughout the performance. And then it's like he gets super inspired right there. It's like, do you know who these people are? This is nothing compared to what we've been through. So I think that's really cool. And I like how he's just a little bit sort of emotional here. And then he gets right back to...
Before they'd ever turn their backs and run.
That's the only thing that almost upsets him is the idea of them being cowardly. He's like, we're not running. The only thing we're not doing. We will do anything other than that. So don't even speak it. Don't even think it. Narratively speaking, it feels like a encapsulation of Call to Adventure. Yeah, exactly. It's great. And I really like that. I don't know these, and again, I don't know if this is the first time you've seen these characters. I'm actually really curious to Ikaria and everybody like who's played this. Is this something that we know these people? Are they from a previous game? Is this the opening cutscene? But what I really like about it is, for me, I totally get it. I totally get it. Like everything that's happening right here. You know, I understand in this 5 minutes what type of character he is. But it's interesting because in the beginning, he's just listening. He's just like, report, just staring there. And then we get this nice speech. So I would assume this is not the first scene. Also, Isabel feels like a character we should know, but I'm not sure if this is like an expansion of a game or something.
And where you see one old ship,
Yeah.
see home.
And I love the crew's reactions actually got me the most emotional here.
Worth fighting for.
Yeah. I really like this gentleman's performance here, who was the subject of this shot. You can see the character is kind of moved by the speech. And I thought that was really cool. The way he trusts and protects his team. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was awesome. And you can tell that they trust the commander. They're all just like, let's do it. Nobody said, what if he is too strong? You know, which I thought was cool. Which raises the question, who is Isabel? Is she part of this crew? Is she just like some sort of contact they have on the planet? That's what I would assume. Halo Wars 1 was their whole story before they were lost. Oh, so yeah, these aren't new characters. That makes a lot more sense. This is the third major cinematic. First one being them waking up. Almost chose that, but this one is... Yeah, that's awesome, Makar. I'm actually really glad you chose this. It's always super interesting, and we kind of use it as a litmus test on this channel, right? It's drop me in to a random scene, and it's like, what does the scene accomplish? Well, here you go. We've proven this one is very effective, so I love it. That's so good. Some really fun shots here too. I love the feeling. So what's cool about these sort of interwoven shots, is my last thought here, is the way the camera's moving as everybody takes their stations. It evokes the feeling that you're a part of the crew as you're watching that. Like, I'm a part of the crew. I'm walking through and all right, let's sit down. Let's get into it. And I think that was really clever. You see what I mean? Yeah. And the way the camera moves, it feels like I'm looking around. It's like, he's in his seat. He's in his seat. Let's get to it. Nice rack focus. And then this character has a bit of a turn where she's like, all right, these people are all definitely going to fight. Maybe I should too. Isabella was found stranded on the Ark during the second mission. Okay, so that's a good example too. It's like maybe she's been stranded so long alone, she's kind of lost her fire a little bit.
If we don't stop Atriox now, we leave the galaxy at the mercy of a monster.
Awesome.
So no, Isabel. We won't be running anywhere today.
Sir, yes, sir.
I really like that too. Sir, yes, sir. It's like this kind of, dang, who was I to question? I underestimated these guys, which is really fun. So yeah, really awesome work. Thank you, Ikaria. This was fantastic. Yeah, really kind of like, I had no idea where this was going to. Not knowing the characters, not knowing anything about Atriox. It was really fun. I didn't know if he was going to be human or not. So that was a cool surprise. Oh, I also really like the character reveal, which I talked about when it was running. I really like how they kind of withhold the character a bit and don't really show his face. They show his weapon, they show his silhouette, and it's just like, ooh, it's really nice build up. So I absolutely love it. Let me do a quick intro on it.